Sometimes in Return to Krondor, the battle animations don't flow that smoothly. Have a look at the club on the guy James is swinging at. He lowered his club, and he got knocked down. Now let's look at this guy with the dagger. He lowers the dagger, and then he gets knocked down. So what happens is, right as the game decides how the hit is going to go, the animation starts playing for the guy getting killed. Let's have a look at this guy with a quarterstaff. He gets hit once, and watch him go. Lean back. Soften his fall onto the ground. It's pretty silly to see an enemy slowly lean back in anticipation before he gets killed. And here we are fighting a drunk and a yeoman. See, I can pronounce it now. There's a pack in this room. It's a rich pack. That's pretty much the most interesting thing about this clip. Now, we can fight these two guys. Throw fire oil on them, and it should be quick. This is what I did when I was just trying to get them out of the way quickly. Presumably so that we can look at that rich pack. And the yeoman's still going. I don't know exactly what this pair is intended to represent, really. I don't get it. And now Jishara is going to try to cast an interesting spell for this clip. And she doesn't, so it's mainly just about the rich pack. That's pretty much all we got here. This guy has a lot of health points. He has like 100 health points. And for some reason, I do not look at the rich pack. Did I forget? Maybe. Here we are in a battle with two Keshians and a sailor. It's a dire situation. So Jishara is going to use her Wand of Domination and take control of this situation. She doesn't have line of sight on the sailor, so we'll just take one of the Keshians here. James will do his normal thing. We'll take out Mr. Fire Oil here. He's got a chainmail shirt, so he can take quite a beating. If you're wondering why James does so much damage, is because he's using the Wrath of the Prophet, the best sword in the game. The magical rapiers are nice, but they don't have the raw, brutal damage that the Wrath of the Prophet has. It's supposed to do 35 damage on a swing. He's William. And there you go, the Wand of Domination. What else is there to say? This isn't anything too fantastic, but it's a fun item, so I started recording. It's the Mail of Invulnerability. It provides the best protection that chainmail can provide, and it also makes the wearer immune to critical hits. It's excellent armor if you can find it while William is still around, and I recommend taking it with you and giving it to Solon when William leaves the city, because once William leaves, he will not be able to do much with it. It's the Nighthawks again. And there's a pack in the corner. Ara tried to cast Swallow's Strength, did not work. And now these Nighthawks are going to go to town on poor James. James is going to use the Strong Potion of Striking. guy with a great sword. Ouch. Jisara has to do something about this. And she put a Shield of Winds on James, which is, I don't know. Probably not what I would do today, but hey, it does something. It makes hits less likely to land, and it makes the damage from hits that do land lower. James uses a strong healing potion, which is something. And Jisara is going to throw a sunray into this guy's face. But he resists it. Now James is going to respond now that he's in position. There's those 81 damage hits again. That seems to be the maximum damage possible for this sword and the strong potion of striking. And of course James's strength. That's what goes into that equation. Now let's have a look at this sword here. It's a Life Bane blade, one of the best weapons in the game. It gives you 15 extra damage per hit. That's huge, as well as 15 more points to your attack value. Very powerful sword. And here we are having a look at the Dragon Skin Jerkin one more time. James uses a Grease of Deadly Poison. That's the stronger version of the Grease of Poison. Jisara is going to... not the strong fire oil, just the regular fire oil. She's going to throw fire oil on someone. Now, the Grease of Poison, I'm going to try and spread it around here, but to be honest, it works so slowly when it gets started, it just doesn't really matter that much. This guy is going to throw some fire oil on James, who is not going to take any damage because of his Dragon Skin Jerkin. And, you know, it's good in a sense that this guy skipped his turn throwing fire oil. Of course, we can't loot it from him now. But one of the real shortcomings of Return to Krondor is that the enemies don't really use potions and magic. They barely use it. Jisara blinds the guy, which is kind of pointless because he could be dead now anyway if I wasn't skipping my turn. And James is going to try to spread the poison around. But as I said, the poison is so slow that it just doesn't matter. And this is the strong poison. It's possible if the fight went on a long time that the poison would make a big difference, but it doesn't. And Jisara is casting Lightning's Touch on this guy, and that takes him out. James finishes off the last guy without the poison. Let's have a look at that spell Jisara cast. It's Lightning's Touch. That's one hell of a touch, Jisara. You've got long arms. That's similar to Prandor's Touch, except from the Path of Fire. We're fighting the Nighthawks again. Jisara is going to cast Taint of Madness. Interesting choice. I originally thought that this battle was going to be about the Taint of Madness spell, but it's not. And the reason is because this is not a good example of using the Taint of Madness spell. Notice how that guy is not attacking Jisara or James. It's sort of like Contest of Wills, except Jisara can still move around and cast spells. And it's a little bit like My Enemy, My Friend, except the Nighthawk isn't attacking James. And Jisara is just wasting time because she she doesn't have line of sight on the other guy, and there's just nothing to do. So she could have done the Contest of Wills, really, or something besides Taint of Madness. So here's the thing about Taint of Madness. I don't want to attack that guy because I don't want him to fall off of the screen, which is a pretty unique problem that really I shouldn't blame the spell for. So I'm just skipping turns to get this guy away from the edge of the screen. Finally, he awakens and goes to attack Jazara, so that really didn't help me much. So the Taint of Madness spell is not necessarily a bad one, but this was not a good use of it. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually manage to hit Jazara because that sword that guy has is pretty nasty. Jazara finishes off the guy with a Mind Blade, and we can have a look at that sword. It is a... where is it? Death Blade. It's a very powerful weapon. It does 12 extra damage per hit, plus your chance to do a critical hit is increased by 50%. It's perhaps a little weaker than the Life Bane Blade. It's debatable. We've seen the Amulet of Fire before, but here it is one more time. Grab the amulet and burn some goblins. Great area of effect weapon. Not subject to spell failure. And that comes to 220 damage. Pretty good, pretty good.